You already know the best AI requires the best data and the best technology. Well, Oracle Fusion Cloud Applications combines all three, so your business gets the best results. With the most relevant and current data across your entire business, from finance to HR, supply chain to sales, service, and more, and running on the world's best supercomputers and LLMs. Fusion Applications offers built-in AI services, including predictive AI, generative AI, and AI agents within existing workflows, enabling new ways of doing business, delivering unprecedented productivity and providing end-to-end automation. And the best part, it's already working for you right now. Quicker product launches, faster time to resolution for customer service requests, touchless automation in finance, and optimized job descriptions to improve the hiring process. And the Oracle AI Agent Studio for Fusion Applications gives you a development platform to create, deploy, and manage customized agents that understand your unique business. Oracle Fusion Applications, built for your business in the age of AI. Please welcome Cormac Waters to the stage.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming back. This is going to be the applications keynote. So, my name is Cormac Waters. I look after the applications business across EMEA. For the main speaker at the keynote will be someone I introduce in a moment, and I'll come back to interview some key customers. But the main speaker, one of the most senior leaders in Oracle Fusion globally, been a key part of the development for the last several years, many years. We're delighted that we have Chris Leone to come and talk to you and give you the Oracle Applications keynote. So please welcome Chris to the stage.
Please welcome Chris Leone to the stage.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to CloudWorld London. Pleasure to be here. My name is Chris Leone. Excited for this session. We got a lot to go through. Got a number of innovations to talk about. We're going to show you some demos. We got a huge announcement in AI that I'm going to try to get through the first slides pretty quickly so I can spend most of the time on that. Got to have a customer panel, so buckle up. Here we go. So let's talk a little bit about some of the guiding principles that we think about when we're talking about Fusion applications. First, we'd like to deliver everything you need to really help you deliver a set of business applications across horizontal and vertical parts of your business. And we pride ourselves in delivering innovation that matters. Now, one of the things that's unique about Oracle is we're both a technology company and an applications company. And with that, we're able to bring new technical innovations to you. But it's really our job as an applications component of Oracle to take those technical innovations and drive them into business value, trying to make your jobs easier, make your employees and workers more productive, and ultimately helping you achieve success in your organization. Now, we're going to go through a number of demonstrations and innovations throughout this, but one of the things that we never lose sight of is our commitment to your success, customer success. It really does run through our veins as we really try not only to just make you successful in your implementations and transformations, but really try to understand what are the business outcomes, metrics, KPIs that you're trying to achieve, and really help you meet those objectives and those goals. So these are the guiding principles that we think about when we talk about Fusion applications. Next slide, please. All right. Thank you. All right. So we're going to talk about everything you need, both horizontal and vertical applications. One thing that I will say is we know we've had a lot of success in Fusion applications. Some of the largest, most successful organizations are running our enterprise system globally, and we'll show you some of the customer logos here in just a second. But let me talk about what our application footprint entails. What's great about Oracle, and you'll see as it comes into play as we talk about some of the technical innovations specifically around AI, we have a full suite of front office, back office, and middle office applications, from ERP to supply chain and manufacturing to human capital management to sales, services, and marketing as part of our CX suite. We also have a Fusion Data Intelligence, part of our analytics platform that can deliver predefined dashboards, reports, analytics, trending information to help support your business. And then certainly we're delivering a lot of AI throughout our applications, and we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about that, what that means. But one of the key things, and I said this just a second ago, that really separates Oracle from other companies is we really are both an applications company and a technology company. And what that means is we deliver everything on a unified technology stack. And from an applications customer perspective, you might be thinking, what value does that bring to me? How do I benefit from that? One of the great things is, as we make improvements in our technology stack, in that unified technology layer, Fusion applications inherit the majority of those technical advancements just natively. And I'll give you a few examples of how that works. First, all of our Fusion customers move from our Gen 1 OCI infrastructure to Gen 2 over the last 18 months. And underneath all of that, all of our customers got better speed, performance, reliability, and security as part of that infrastructure upgrade, just inherently. Also, our uptime, or our downtime, for lack of a better word, in our updates that we have 4 times a year, where we're delivering a lot of innovation, dramatically reduced. Orders of magnitude better in uptime for our applications, which is a significant improvement. And then you get new innovations like autonomous database, a new cloud portal, all of those things just come. The other part of being and having a foundation, infrastructure foundation that's unified is you get new technologies. We get new technologies on the application side that benefit all of you. So just think about AI. So we started investing in we've been investing in AI for 25 years, but when generative AI came out, it was Oracle Cloud Infrastructure that allowed us to deliver Fusion-specific, optimized large language models that we could leverage to drive innovations in our application. And we chose those. We've delivered those. We've delivered over 150 generative AI services and AI agents, and we did those because of the infrastructure. And we deliver these large language models, and we've picked a couple today. But in the future, we don't know what the best technology or what the best AI service will win. And it's really our job, as we continue to make advancements, to select the best technology. So if we need better reasoning, we need better decisioning, we need better function calling, we'll upgrade or move to the latest technology on AI. And being part of a unified technology structure really allows us to do that and really insulates our customers from the technical debt that can build up over time. And of course, we're going to talk a lot about innovations. We're going to get into that next section right now. But we have a ton of customers, many of whom are in the room today, and I thank you for being a customer. We have some of the largest global organizations running end-to-end Fusion applications, really driving their businesses. So thank you for that. Now, let's jump into some innovation that matters. So this is my favorite section. We're going to talk about AI and what we're doing in AI and what we've been delivering for many, many years. And we have a brand new announcement that I'm excited to talk about today, and we're going to get there in just a second. So we've been delivering AI as part of our application and our technology layer for 25 years. So we started with predictive AI, foundational models, deep learning, advanced analytics, machine learning. We were doing that for a while. But then the world changed, and AI became much more democratized. And with the onset or onslaught of generative AI and these large language models, we've been able to make significant advancements in delivering new capabilities across our entire suite of applications. And we'll talk more about this, but we've delivered over 150 generative AI services and AI agents across Fusion applications over the last 12 to 16 months, and we're continuing on a really rapid pace. And we're going to talk about the latest innovation that we've just delivered here as part of our Fusion application instance. But significant move forward, and the pace keeps accelerating. So what is the promise of AI? So we talk about this. Obviously, the hype cycle is extremely high right now. But what is the promise? We believe, and we fundamentally believe, that we can increase productivity. We can automate new types of workflows that we were never able to automate before. Now we can bring in knowledge into knowledge stores into our system that we were never able to have access to before, to drive different types of automations, deliver different types of solutions, and automate more business processes within organizations, and really touch in new areas that we just weren't able to go into in the past. So really opening up and expanding the types of problems that we can now solve at the application layer with the onslaught of AI and generative AI technology. And we're going to give you some examples of what that looks like here in just a second. And one of the kind of differentiation or differences that we have from an Oracle perspective is, first, you cannot do great AI if you don't have consistent data and a consistent data source. And one of the differences that we can offer is, with Fusion applications, we can touch the entire spectrum of business services that you need to support, from front office to middle office to back office. And so we talk about the type of automation that we can now deliver. It's not just about recommendations and we can tell you, hey, you should take this particular action. We can actually automate processes using AI agents to take action in our system. So we can update an order, we can return a product, we can deploy or dispatch a maintenance technician. We can take these actions in our system now because we have the breadth of enterprise data, transactional data at our fingertips. Another huge difference for us is we deliver our AI technology as part of our applications at no additional cost to you. So they're part of the service that we provide. Now, great addition, and some of these services, these generative AI services, you can turn on in a matter of minutes. In fact, we had a customer cab the other day, and we walked through a video of a customer turning on an AI agent in under 7 minutes from start to finish. So you can get real value in a real short period of time as part of the applications that you already own and have deployed today. So huge value there. And then the value of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, where we actually deliver Fusion-optimized large language models as part of the service that you already have in place today. Not only is it a differentiator for you, but it's a differentiator for us that are building applications. We can now use the capabilities of AI agents or generative AI capabilities as part of the applications that we deliver. So we don't have to think about this as an add-on service. We just can use it as another tool in our toolkit to deliver more innovation to you. So huge difference for us. I'm going to talk about the types of services that we're delivering. So we started delivering generative-based services, so using the generative power of these large language models to do things like create job descriptions. So we can personalize a job description for a particular role in an organization, but we can generate that content. Or we can use it to summarize, another use case on the generative side of AI. We can summarize shifts or service requests in our service application. Or if I'm a production supervisor and I just had a long shift where I moved work orders around, a CNC machine went down, I had to deploy a maintenance technician. Instead of spending hours summarizing my shift, generative AI can look at everything that's happened and create a really nice formatted summary for the next production supervisor when they come on to work. So a lot of generative AI services that we're delivering. Then we moved into decision support, where we were delivering new capabilities where you can ask questions of the application. We can now bring in knowledge stores and knowledge from your organization, parse them, put them in our vector store using Oracle AI, and be able to ask questions of the data in context to a business flow or a business transaction. And then as we've moved into deploying more AI agents, where whether it's a single agent or a team of agents, to actually autonomously take action across one or multiple tasks within our system. So really moving to the next level of taking autonomous action. So this is the spectrum that we're delivering against. But we've been doing that on our own and delivering these services. And these are just some of the services that we delivered. So across ERP, many from predictive all the way through generative, all the way through AI agents. And we're going to show you the first AI agent demo here. I'm going to show you Document I/O. Let's go to the demonstration.
This demo shows how AI agents in Oracle Cloud ERP will help drive secure touchless automation of procure-to-pay processes. It starts with James, a sales VP in Japan, who urgently needs to purchase video production services. He takes a picture of the vendor's handwritten quote and emails it to the Document I/O AI agent. Because the agent understands the business context and works with an industry-leading LLM to extract the relevant information from the attachment and email, Document I/O can take the next step and create a purchase requisition. The buyer receives a notification to review the requisition. He sees the original descriptions in Japanese as well as the English translation. Document I/O also generates charge account codes based on information and related details from the email. For the sub-account, the agent has insufficient confidence in the value predicted by AI and requests confirmation. The buyer verifies that the sub-account is correct and submits the requisition. Video production goes well. James confirms receipt of services, and the supplier sends an invoice which triggers a workflow in accounts payable. In the Payable Manager screen, we see that the Document I/O agent automatically processes invoices in a variety of file and document formats. The Payables Manager receives a notification in relation to 3 invoices from a new supplier that was recently onboarded. Document I/O processes the invoices despite the supplier using a new file format. However, 2 attributes require review. The Payables Manager reviews the ship to address, and the predicted section is highlighted in the XML file. The company has receiving points. The correct ship to address is proposed, and she is able to confirm the selection based on the 9-digit zip code. The line description is generated by the agent based on information from both the purchase order and the invoice file. She also accepts the proposed description. The invoice is now complete. The other 2 invoices leverage the new mapping, and the transactions are also successfully processed. A new insight highlights an early payment discount opportunity. The Payables Manager immediately initiates the payment. She notices that the supplier requested a special format for the payment. The Document I/O agent generates the new payment format and remittance advice based on the template provided by the supplier. She reviews the payment instructions and the remittance advice that have been generated and submits the payment for approval. And that's it. By capturing and generating documents, the Document I/O agent will enable secure and highly automated processes.
Great example of how AI can solve a really complex problem. We've delivered more generative services and AI agents across all of HCM. And since we're in the innovation and demo portion of this session, let's go to our next demo, which is performance and goals, showing how large language models and AI can make a huge difference in your organization.
This demo shows how AI agents and generative AI embedded in Oracle Fusion Cloud HCM can help managers complete performance evaluations. Let's join Marie, a manager who needs to complete performance evaluations for her team. To save time, she uses embedded generative AI to help draft evaluation comments for goals based on existing goal data and progress notes. She then asks the AI to suggest development tips for competencies and summarize overall comments. She makes a few changes to personalize the generated text before submitting the evaluation ready for the performance conversation with her direct report. Next, she asks the AI agent for advice on conducting a successful performance evaluation discussion with her employee. The AI agent gives Marie the company's best practices for delivering an effective performance conversation, such as active listening, sharing specifics, and encouraging dialogue. And there you have it. By using embedded AI agents and generative AI in Oracle Fusion Cloud HCM, managers can complete performance evaluations in less time and enable more effective performance discussions.
More great innovation, looks fantastic. And again, just to show you how comprehensive we're delivering this AI technology, here's all of the services in supply chain, as well as across CX, from predictive all the way through generative. Now let's get into the announcement that I came here to talk about. We're announcing today at CloudWorld London a new AI Agent Studio, which is a platform to build AI agents, really allowing you as customers and partners to not only take what we deliver as templates and extend them, but build from scratch your own AI agents. So this is the first delivered natively integrated to Fusion Applications AI agent platform available to all of you. Let's talk a little bit about what this does. So first and foremost, this AI Agent Studio delivers pre-built templates. So you can take from the hundreds of templates that we deliver and configure and deploy an application. But you can also take those templates and extend them, add additional agents or additional tools, and build your own AI agent on the backs of some templates that we've delivered. As I said earlier, we deliver Fusion-optimized large language models. But if you need a specialty industry model, or you need a different large language model, maybe that your organization is already working with, you can bring your own large language model into AI Studio. From an extensibility perspective, again, you can build your own agents. You can extend to external services, external APIs outside of our system. But one of the key differentiation points of our AI Agent Studio is native integration with Fusion applications. You don't have to worry about connecting to a service, a business object, an API, a page. All of that is natively integrated, and all of the security predicates come along with it. You don't have to reset up functional or data level security. It's predefined for you, no customizations needed. So making the ability to create custom or extend AI agents that simple. You also can enable human in the loop. So before you take an order, before you send a customer back a quote, you can have a human review that. So you have the flexibility to inject human in the loop throughout any workflow that you want to create. If you're bringing in third-party large language models or third-party APIs or other third-party services that you want to integrate to, we have a full credential store so you can log the API key and bring any third-party service into AI Agent Studio. And then we have a full testing and validation component of our platform. So this is truly an IDE for you to build and construct and extend the agents that we're delivering all across Fusion applications and extend into custom systems throughout your enterprise. Truly groundbreaking, super excited about this announcement. It's going to be a game changer for you as customers and our partner community to be able to build on top of this platform. So with that, let's go to take a look at AI Agent Studio in action.
This is a demo of the Oracle AI Agent Studio for Fusion applications. It starts with Marie, a Fusion Apps administrator, who will show how simple it is to create, configure, and deploy agents without any special AI expertise. She browses the catalog of pre-built templates spanning finance, HR, supply chain, sales, customer service, and marketing. Some are simple single-agent templates for straightforward processes. Others use teams of agents to support multi-step coordinated workflows to achieve a business goal. Marie chooses an agent template that can assist maintenance supervisors to support them in critical repair assessments of valuable equipment. Marie could choose the defaults, but instead decides to start configuring. First, she sees how the multiple agents will work as a team. Then Marie reviews important controls like choices for large language models, including Oracle-optimized LLMs or LLMs like Anthropic or OpenAI that Marie's organization has deployed, interaction questions, and controls governing the chat experience. Next, Marie reviews the individual agents that make up the team. In one step, Marie chooses an option to include human approval before a work order is created. Moving on, the Oracle AI Agent Studio is Fusion native. It inherently understands the business objects and APIs of Fusion apps without any customization. Here's an example where Marie confirms the agent can access service history to make recommendations that are specific to each piece of equipment, and double-checks that the maintenance manuals used by AI agents are current and complete. Marie updates the template. She notices that the studio offers customization options, including the ability to extend beyond Fusion apps. Marie sees that she could trigger Outlook to send an email message with a summary of maintenance recommendations. Marie decides to test the new agent before putting it into action. A couple of sample questions and actions help her validate the agent's responses before rolling it out to maintenance supervisors. And that's it. With the Oracle AI Agent Studio for Fusion applications, you can put your ideas into action by putting AI agents to work across finance, HR, supply chain, sales, customer service, and marketing.
Pretty amazing. Super excited about it. You can head over to the demo floor, see some of it in action. But with that, let me bring back Cormac and some special guests. Cormac?
Please welcome back Cormac Waters and join me in welcoming Vice Admiral Philip John Halley, John Hoare and Thijs van Loon to the stage.
Thank you. It is quite a big room, actually, isn't it, when you sit here and see it? So I'm going to introduce our guests, but I'm actually going to read the job titles to make sure I don't miss something inadvertently, because they're actually quite interesting. So, thank you for being here. Beside me, Vice Admiral Philip John Halley, kindly said I can say Phil, is the Chief of Defence People for the UK Ministry of Defence. Admiral Halley is responsible for the policies and processes needed to ensure the UK has sufficient, capable and motivated people needed to provide for the UK's defence. Now, if you think that sounds like a massive job, then you heard correctly. So thank you for being here. Next is John Hoare. John is the Programme Director for Group Finance at Travelex. Travelex, as you will know, is a foreign exchange company headquartered in Peterborough that operates in 20 countries. It offers foreign exchange, prepaid credit cards for use by all travellers, and it even supplies central banks with foreign currency. And then we've got Thijs van Loon. Thijs is a Senior HR Director for Virgin Media O2, a company serving nearly 46 million broadband, mobile phone and home subscribers, 46 million, and employing 16,000 employees. Virgin Media O2 is a very interesting origin story, which we'll come to in a bit. So thank you for all coming. So if you don't mind, maybe a small round of applause just for the guys preparing it. All right, we'll get going with questions. It feels a little like school, doesn't it, in the rankings and so on. So we'll dive in to talk about some of the great work you're doing. So maybe I'll ask each of you a question about a key strategic initiative. So Admiral Halley, Phil, I'm hoping you can get us started by describing the corporate services modernization that you and your peers are driving and explaining why that's so important to the MOD and its mission.
Yeah, thanks. So if I start with the why, I think everyone in this room will get the fact that probably this nation and our allies, we face today unprecedented threats to our security and prosperity as a nation. And rapid changes in the geopolitical landscape, in technological advancements, necessitate that we adapt quickly to maintain our competitive edge. And that's necessary to not only defend the nation, but also to build the stability on which the wider economy thrives. And from my perspective, recruiting and retaining high-quality people in the armed forces with the world's class skills that we increasingly need in terms of digital and engineering and cyber. We recognise our HR policies and our systems, they're increasingly out of date and they're bureaucratic. And we need to be an employer of choice. We need to be able to appeal to the younger people of today. We need to give them a consumer-grade experience. So what we're doing is bringing in Oracle Cloud technology, not just across the HR area, but also across finance and commercial, in order to not only be better at attracting the world's best talent into defence of the nation, but to drive productivity, to maximise investment, and also to make sure that I can put as many of the people that I've got into frontline operations, and by doing so, change the policy and process and org design to get them out of what we used to call the back office.
I told you it's kind of interesting, right? So, John, you have your own massive transformation going on. I mean, can you tell us about, I think you call the program Future Finance Function?
Yeah, so it's quite a complex transformation. At the minute, we're on kind of 6 heritage ERPs, all with different providers on-prem. We have 4 different chart of accounts, many manual processes, but I guess our future finance has been focused around kind of 5 key pillars. So the first bit was around technology, and that was around getting a modern SaaS-based solution that was fully enterprise. So obviously, we chose Oracle Fusion for that particular piece. Introducing, I wouldn't be here otherwise, introducing global processes. So again, really starting to drive that kind of global scale, I guess, across all of our countries. Governance is a big piece, so we have quite tight risk and controls. We've used Oracle Risk Cloud Management to enable us to be able to do that, which is a really good product. Data, so getting one version of the truth, which has meant migrating to a global chart of accounts, which has been quite tough. And people is the big bit. So I guess for us, it's around giving our people the right tools, but freeing them up to add more value into the organisation, so they're not doing loads and loads of manual processes, differently across different countries. So that they're actually adding value into both our customers and our internal customers within Travelex.
Fantastic. Small program. So, Face, I mentioned earlier Virgin Media O2's beginnings, as I say. Can you explain the merger that created Virgin Media O2 and how that structure has led to, I think it's a 2-year program? Yeah. To raise the company's, as you say, the digital human resources capabilities?
Yeah, absolutely. So in 2021, we brought the 2 biggest telecoms brands together in the UK. And with that, you have a lot of legacy in the system. You have people coming together, you will have blended teams. Everything to people is uncertain and unknown. So one of the things we wanted to do as quickly as possible, because you want people to focus on the customer, and you don't want them to be busy with finding out the tedious things that you need to do to either manage your team or as an employee to just do your normal things that you want to do. So we looked for a system that was really flexible and that could basically replace the 2 legacy systems that we had, so that the people knew what they had to do right from the start, and that they could just do their jobs, focusing on the customer, focusing on the products that we want to deliver, focus on the new offerings that we would bring to the market, bringing mobile and fixed together in a converged way and entertainment. You don't want them to focus on the technology. Yeah. So that is why with Oracle, we started with Oracle HR Core. Yeah. Then we added recruitment to it, and we also did the compensation module. That's the one that we started, and then later we started adding modules to it to create that whole suite that managers and people need to just go about their business, and also make sure that everything that can be automated is automated.
Yeah.
And I think that is a bit of pride for my team that is here today as well. We were the first actually within VMO2 to have an integrated system, so that was really cool. Yeah.
Well, because I mean, these integrations are massive in all sorts of dimensions, so to be the first is pretty cool. Admiral Halley, circling back to your modernization work at the MOD, can you go a bit deeper, maybe on the ministry's goals for the effort, and share how Oracle Fusion Cloud is helping support those goals?
So I think the important word there is support. We're not chasing digital transformation for the sake of digital transformation. This is actually digital transformation that is enabling massive organizational structural and productivity changes across the whole organization. So that means it involves simplifying policy. I have over 8,000 pages of people policy in the Ministry of Defence for the Army, Navy and the Air Force, which is about 7,500 too many. So standardization of policies and processes, simplification of systems, getting the Army, Navy and the Air Force all to just do things the same way, exploiting data in a much more intelligent and agile way, and also using it as an opportunity to simplify structures to be more agile, because agile thinking is the way that actually we win the wars of the future. I think it's also about providing a much better user experience. I call it a consumer-grade experience. Young people today expect to get the same experience from the employer that they get from Amazon or whatever else. That's using data to link people. It's about using data to link a global organization. And it's about driving pace and agility in decision-making. But also, I think, coming back to people, which is my business, our soldiers, sailors and aviators are counting on us to succeed in this. They want to be digitally connected. They want to be trusted to be able to manage their own careers. They want greater career flexibility. They want to do all of that on their phone, not in an HR office. And they want to be released from admin tasks to get to the front line, because in my business, the front line really is the front line.
It definitely is. It puts a different perspective on things. So John, you're in Travelex, it's a full finance transformation. So you're finding that blend between standardization and innovation, right? I mean, so how are you finding that blend between standardization and innovation?
It's an interesting one. So I guess the key to our delivery was we had to really get our teams engaged in coming up with a global solution blueprint. So we spent quite a bit of time supported by our kind of SI partner, PwC, at the start, to come up with this blueprint around how do we make everything standard, because that was a key for us.
Yep.
But then we're not business that stands still. So our retail stores may want to launch new products. We may want to go into new countries with our wholesale business. So I guess we kind of came up with a bit of a concept for plug and play. So how can we plug bits into the platform whilst trying to keep it standard across all the countries? And I guess that is kind of what we have achieved. So if somebody wants to launch a new product, we can easily do it, because again, we've got standard processes now on how to do that. Yeah. And also I think in terms of within finance itself, so the innovation piece there, again, we're looking, now we've got the platform, how do we continuously innovate across the processes and what everyone is doing, so that, again, we continue to drive the efficiency.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's again, a very broad program, and that blend is vital. You standardize, but you have to keep innovating, right? And trying to find that balance, for sure. Thijs, I mean, you mentioned the integration itself. So have you any practical examples of what you and the solution and so on, how you were improving the employee experience at Virgin Media O2?
So it goes back a bit to what I said before. If you bring two companies together, the managers need information. You need to do your workforce planning as well. You need to do your workforce management, so you need good information. The employee, on the other hand, you just want to know, like, how many days do I have left in my holiday allowance, for example. If you need to make choices, for example, in benefits, how do I do that? And I think by bringing it all together, by really having one system that does it all for you, and that gives you the right information, that helps managers to make the right decisions, that helps us as HR, for example, giving OD advice, organizational design advice. That is really important if you bring that together. You need to have one single source of truth. With Oracle, we created that. And at the same time, for the employee, it's really easier not having to go to different systems. You have one system that contains all the information. And I think with that, we increased the employee experience and the manager experience tremendously, and also allowed us speed of action. That was a very important thing as well. The other thing, one of the modules that we added, and this was purely designed within our own team, there was a new approach to performance management, which we call growth and contribution. We implemented that in Oracle, and there was a bit of a challenge because it was really different from what you normally would do. So we had quite an exciting process for that, and we had an adoption of 97%. So 97% of the people followed all their conversations that they need to follow, which is 4 in a year. And I think that is one of those things where you see like the engagement with the system is really good. And now with, for example, Redwood that we are overlaying, it even becomes more user-friendly. It becomes visually more attractive on the screen. And you see even the engagement going up as well. So that's really good to see. And that is one of those elements where you really think, I mean, what is more important in a business for people than to have genuine conversations with each other about what needs to be achieved, how it will be achieved, and you know, how you need to grow. We have those conversations at the moment in the company, and it's supported by a state-of-the-art system.
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's the consumer-grade interface and that Admiral Halley's been talking about. I'm going to ask each of you the same question now, because we've been talking for, what, 50 minutes, and we have not mentioned AI. I just want the audience to recognize that. We did not. Okay, all right, you're all asleep. Fine. But we should talk about it. Right, so the question will be, what's each of your strategy or advice for evaluating and applying AI in your operations? I mean, and I'll change the sequence a bit. So, I mean, Thijs, you're talking.
So I mean, you've mentioned it, algorithmic management, it's here to come and it's here to stay. It offers quite exciting opportunities, I think, to make things more efficient, but also increase the quality. So one of the things, you know, we have started really simple with the Oracle Digital Assistant, where we hope that we could actually answer questions in a more consistent and a better way than we as a human could do. So that's one of the things that we will implement. And AI can be overwhelming because it's where to start. So what we have done, we have identified together with the team, we have identified in the business certain use cases, skills management, for example, where we will start deploying AI, and we already do. For example, in recruitment, that's where we use AI at the moment. I saw on the screen that there's a job description generator. We actually have already one, so let's see if which one is better. So
our one is much better.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
it's included in the price as well.
I will text it back. But I think, you know, for us, and that is maybe a bit of as HR people, it's really important to start learning AI, because at the end of the day, it will affect each and all of our jobs. It will affect each and every process in the business. So in order for us to give advice to the business, how you should organize yourself, we should learn AI. So that's why we should be at the forefront. My advice on that would be, like, just start somewhere. Look at practical use cases in your business, because otherwise it's too overwhelming. And the other thing why I think we should really be going there is, like, we are a telco company. Whatever you do, whatever query you do in Oracle, whatever tool you use, you will go via one of our networks. So we need to understand what we are delivering.
Absolutely. Great advice. And John, I mean, you're a financial services company. So what's your take on it?
Yeah, so obviously we're very much at the start of our journey. Sometimes I do describe it, we're coming off Excel spreadsheets into the modern world. But I guess for us, in terms of AI is inbuilt into the system, so you don't sometimes realise you're using it when you are using it within Fusion. And I think there's 3 kind of key areas where we've started to do that. I think a good one is around our risk and controls. So in risk cloud management, we actually have AI in there around security settings. So it's actually doing enhanced due diligence for us. The other one is obviously around AP. So again, intelligent invoice scanning, machine-based learning, training that up. And we're just doing a bit of a pilot around narrative reporting in our EPM layer around how can we use that in essence to fill out commentary and stuff. So whilst it's an early journey, they're kind of 3 use cases, but again, there's many more within the platform we know we can keep using and harnessing.
No, very good. The narrative reporting is actually turning out to be super useful as we can see the generative nature of it. So good one to start with. And Admiral Halley, in your domain, how is this going to work?
So I mean, I think we've been using AI quite extensively, particularly operationally across defence, and particularly in the world of intelligence, where huge amounts of information are being sorted and analysed in order to find the really important actionable pieces. In terms of the business, though, in terms of HR and finance, we're probably actually a little further behind. And I think what we're doing is we're developing rapidly, but also quite cautiously. The threat out there is such that actually, we can't use ChatGPT. We don't use these open architecture tools which are connected to the internet, because we have to protect the information that we are putting in.
Data security access.
And we have to protect also, the identities of some of the people who operate with us. So what we do is we build our own. So we are building our own tools, but what we're also using is we're using embedded AI in Oracle applications, particularly. And in HR, one of the areas that's been particularly successful is in skills authoring. So I want to become a skills-based organization. I need to turn everybody's job description into skills-based description across 200,000 people. And, we've managed to do that in not quite weeks, but a small number of months across an entire organization where, quite frankly, every job you can think of, you can probably do in the Ministry of Defence. Yeah. So it's a complex landscape. So it's that complex task that is being made easy by using these applications.
Fantastic. I mean, actually, when we were just talking, as Chris was presenting the new announcement about the AI Agent Studio, I think the idea to create your own agents and use it will actually open up the opportunity to do some more. Last question. Hopefully it's going to be okay. How would you describe your relationship with Oracle? We're on a stage now, just so we know. And how do you see the collaboration evolving into the future? So, John, we'll go with you first this time.
Okay.
Now, remember,
we have a good relationship, don't we? So I have a really good relationship with our account managers, so thanks Mike and Peter. But I think we've also taken the conscious decision to use customer success services.
Yes.
So we're working quite closely with Emma and the team there, on things like our quarterly releases, our extended, but also helping us understand how we can get more out of the platform, whether that be, AI, guided learning, or whatever. We've got that ongoing relationship now, which is kind of what we've made a conscious decision to continue doing.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Good answer. Face?
Yeah, we'll tell the same, of course, because there's a bottle of wine waiting, I've heard.
We had that all written down on the wall for you to really...
No, we're really good relationship. I just told you about, we have a tremendous amount of legacy in our system, just because we're two companies that merge together. We wanted flexibility, but we always also wanted a partner to think along with us. If I just mentioned the growth and contribution example, I think that's a typical example, but there's many, to be honest, where we really sat together. And I see the people from Oracle, our account managers, really wanting to understand what we want to achieve, and then see how they can support it. And that is really, that I think is the strength of the relationship that we have.
Yeah, fantastic. And Admiral Halley.
So I see Oracle as a key partner for the Ministry of Defence, just as important as any of the big names who manufacture aircraft or weapons or ships, because I see our HR systems in particular as a weapon system. It is the means by which we make sure we have the right people with the right skills, and we deploy them safely and we recover them from an operational theatre. And therefore I look to Oracle to really challenge us, to improve, to get better, to be more adaptable, and to be faster.
That's a wonderful answer and a great way to wrap up. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time and for being, I hope you've been found as an interesting conversation. So please, thank you so much. Great.
Please welcome back Chris Leone.
Huge thank you to our customers. That was great. One more, just quick one. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. All right. As if AI Agent Studio wasn't enough, ton of innovation. We have another innovation section to go through. We know not every business is horizontal, so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the vertical applications that we're delivering. Let me start with supply chain and manufacturing. And one of the questions that I get asked all the time, I get asked a lot of questions, but one of the questions I get asked all the time is your supply chain manufacturing system able to support the frontline worker at the factory floor or on the assembly line? And the answer to that question is absolutely yes. We're going to talk about smart operations in just a second, but our supply chain manufacturing system is much more than that. It's an end-to-end enterprise system that can help streamline your operations, can lower your costs in a rising cost environment, can help you deliver greater resiliency when there's supply chain disruptions, which we know there's always some of that going on. And then finally, one of the areas that we've been investing is around sustainability. And so we've delivered sustainability as part of our transportation management solution, but we've really operationalized sustainability with an investment that we made in procurement that allows you to look at your invoices and calculate the CO2 carbon emissions across all of your invoices, and so you can measure that in a more consistent way, and then you can report that through our enterprise performance management system. So really helping you kind of operationalize the sustainability side of the equation. As we know, there's more government regulations around CO2 emissions. So we've delivered to some of the largest companies in the world are running our supply chain manufacturing systems, such as Zebra Technologies, Western Digital, and DHL. So we're achieving great here, and many customers see this as a great way to streamline their operations. But one of the investment areas that we've made, and I just answered the question on the prior slide, was around something called smart operations. So smart operations is really about moving from where we traditionally managed our supply chain systems at the enterprise level and really moving to the front line, to the factory floor, where the frontline worker is. And so we've delivered a whole system that will allow organizations to get rid of their custom MES systems, their bolt-on enterprise asset management systems, and really create an integrated end-to-end solution so we can help the production supervisor, a production management supervisor. They can manage the factory floor or the work center and be able to prioritize different work orders. They can manage rostering and hiring and deploying resources to the right equipment. They have their operators make sure that they have the right equipment that's available to them with the right resources so they can do their job, and they can manage real time how they're executing in their daily shift. And as I talked about earlier, we've also injected AI into all of our systems. So now that production supervisor at the end of their 8 or 9 hour shift, if they have to work overtime, they can summarize all of that, let AI do the work, and hand off the shift to the next production supervisor manager coming in and be as efficient as possible. We also have smart operations for maintenance and inventory. So we can manage inventory shortages. We can manage out of stock situations. We've implemented RFID, I'll talk about that in just a second, to really streamline your operations. So when we talk about supply chain, manufacturing, and smart operations, our goal is to give you an enterprise system that can help you manage all the way down to the factory floor with a completely integrated end-to-end solution to really streamline your operations. So huge investment that we've made here and huge advancements. The other significant investment that we've made is all around healthcare. So healthcare is a mission that we're all on here at Oracle, and we've made significant investments across all of our Fusion applications in healthcare. And I'm going to give you a few examples of what we've done and where we've invested. First, let me talk a little bit in the supply chain area. We've delivered a healthcare marketplace. So one of the areas that our customers ask us to look at is trying to manage and keep their buyers to on-contract items. So we know there's always a doctor that wants to get some special set of gloves or whatever, but as much as possible, we want to keep everybody buying as much on-contract as possible. So we have a guided navigation system to make sure that we can help enforce that to keep the cost down. We've also invested in inventory shortage workbench, mobile inventory. So now we have a full mobile inventory solution where you can go around, you can do cycle counts, you can receive goods, you can ship goods, all by scanning the item, fully available as part of our supply chain and inventory system. We have also partnered and are delivering RFID solutions as part of our healthcare system. So what this allows you to do, and we've partnered with Zebra Technology, so we have scanners, so you can scan in the warehouse if you need to do that, scan barcodes, and it'll automatically update our inventory levels. But we've also partnered with some companies. One of them is Terso, where you can have cabinets. So if you have high-priced implants and a nurse goes and takes an implant out of the cabinet, locks it, we track all of that. We deprecate that from inventory, automatically updated, or a surface tray. So if you're doing cycle count and you have a 2-bin system and you take one off the surface tray, automatically updates your inventory level. So really trying to optimize the counting and inventory across the enterprise. We also have integrated the EHR supply or usage data with our item master. So we have synchronizations for both Oracle Health as well as Epic for customers of both systems to integrate supply and usage data. So huge investments there as well. And then finally, in the human capital area, we've invested significantly in scheduling. So we can take demand data from the EHR to drive the scheduling system in our enterprise scheduling solution, so we can make sure that we have the right nurse at the right bed with the right patient at the right time, and we're not overscheduled or underscheduled, so we can optimize costs in healthcare organizations and in hospitals. And then finally, we have a talent marketplace where we try to optimize hiring, working with agencies, and helping drive a better automated process. So huge investment in healthcare across all of these areas. Those are just a few of the key innovations that we've delivered for our healthcare customers globally. The last section that I'm going to talk about is our commitment to customer success. Huge commitment. I talked about this earlier. Oh, stay here. First is we've really transitioned to a customer-first organization. So in the transition from being a product company to being a service company, we've really made that transition to try to support our customers, think about customers first. Huge focus for us. And I said this at the beginning, we take a value-driven approach to working with all of you. So we not only want you to be successful in your transformation, but we want to understand what are your critical outcomes, what are the KPIs that you're trying to achieve with any business transformation, and help you achieve those, whether it's us working with our product managers or whether it's our partners. Huge part of our innovation. And then finally, the asset I have, and I think it's a benefit to all of our customers, is get involved. We have a very robust CAB. We've had a number of CABs here at London CloudWorld, and a lot of you participated. We have a robust customer cloud community where you can go online. I think we have, I think the actual number is 480,000, but right around 500,000 participants that come there monthly. They ask questions, they have ideas that you can vote on that we put into the product. There's discussion threads, there's introduction of new products, there's office hours. So huge value that we can give back to all of our customers to help make you more successful and help give you guidance into what's coming in our roadmap to make you more successful. So we thank all of our customers. Without you, we wouldn't be here, so hugely appreciated. And I thank you for staying to the end of this session. It's been a pleasure to be able to present to you a ton of great innovation that we're delivering. And I just thank you all for attending London CloudWorld, and have a great rest of the day and the rest of the sessions. Thank you.
We hope you have enjoyed the keynote. Lunch is now available.